Over the last year, we've seen Hyrox completely take over the fitness industry. We're starting to see CrossFit athletes, marathon runners, and triathletes all take part in this type of race. It feels like it's a meeting of endurance athletes and CrossFit enthusiasts to see who's the fittest. And that's exactly what piques my interest in this sport. On March 15th of 2025, myself and several other athletes from our facility are headed down to Houston, Texas to put our fitness to the test and do our first ever Hyrox race. But before we go to our race in March, what we want to do first is we want to get some baseline testing done. That means we're gonna get our Vo2 max tested. We're gonna test all of our maxes for our lifts, so our squat, our bench, and our deadlift. And then we're gonna be heading somewhere else to go get our body fat mass tested. And because Hyrox is an aerobic-based sport, these baselines are gonna show us how much endurance we gain, how much muscle we lose, and how much strength we're able to keep. If you guys wanna follow along on our journey, make sure you guys are following the page and you guys have your notifications on.
First on our list is heading to the University of Nebraska to test our Vo2 max, which should give us a better idea of just how fit I am.
Oh, that's it. Pleasure. We've got Andreas Benitez here. He is a PhD student here at UNO, and today he's going to be taking us through our Vo2 max. And Andreas, can you kind of explain to me what the Vo2 max does for us?
So with the Vo2 max, we're basically looking at the maximum amount of oxygen your body can consume during peak exercise. You can kind of think of this as the 1 RM for aerobic athletes. So with this, we'll be using this metabolic cart where we'll be measuring all the gases expired. We'll be measuring your CO2, your oxygen consumed, and this will be a graded exercise test. We'll progressively increase the intensity over time, whether that's through speed or through incline, and we'll see how much oxygen your body can consume during peak exercise till you tap out.
All right, let's do it.
After learning a little bit more about how Vo2 max works and how it's going to help me program for the next 3 months, it was time to get rigged up and do the test. First, it started with me putting this ginormous tube into my mouth, and then it started with me walking at 3 miles an hour and then up to my 10K pace, which was 6.5 miles an hour.
All right, you're doing good. About 1.5 minutes left in the stage, and then we'll start the first stage 1 of the actual protocol.
Stage 1 was at 6.5 miles an hour. It felt great, and my heart rate was only at about 120.
All right, we'll go ahead and take them up to 7.5 miles per hour. All right, Jordan, remember that once you hit an RPE of 15, we'll no longer increase the speed and we'll go to incline till you tap out, all right? I recommend running as flat as possible, as long as possible.
I should have taken that advice as an early forewarning of what was to come whenever we actually did hit the incline. Going in at from 7.5 to 8.5 really didn't feel bad, but I made the decision to go up to the 15 RPE and start the incline.
15? Yep. All right. We'll go ahead and keep the speed the same and we'll take you up to 3% incline.
For reference, going from 0% incline up to a 7% incline goes from a 704 split to a 553.
Come on, Jordan, don't stop. Keep going, keep going. All right, we'll go ahead and take them up to 7% incline.
Keep it up.
Come on, one more stage, Jordan.
You can, keep pushing it.
Good job, honey.
You got this. You got this.
Here you go.
And just like that, it was over. I made a total of 16 minutes and only 15 seconds in on the 7% incline.
I would probably recommend still training at that zone 2 low intensities, maintaining that low heart rate for long durations at time. And you want to be able to increase that speed and still maintain that low heart rate. That's going to be an indication that your body's becoming more efficient over time.
Yep.
Another thing is you also probably need to do some high intensity interval training. I know towards those last inclines, your legs were probably fucking burning.
Yep.
Yep, so training at those higher intensities is going to help your body kind of regulate out that lactate and use it as a fuel source.
We finally have our results back from our Vo2 max testing. I got a 51.8. So on this scale, I'm excellent, but the way that I've been explaining it to people is I'm a really shitty good athlete. Bottom of the barrel when it comes to actual true performance. So my zone 2 is 138 to 152. Overall, with these results, we'll test it here in a few weeks. We'll see how much lower my heart rate can be with either the same speed or even a faster speed. We're standing outside of Rexius Nutrition here in Exarban, and for our second metric, right after the VO2 max, we're gonna go check our body fat mass, skeletal muscle mass, and whatever else is on there. So let's get inside, let's go see how this works.
What if instead of Rexius Nutrition, it was boners in my butt?
Once we made it inside, JD, the owner of Rexius Nutrition, gave us the down low on how these machines work, and then he let myself, Keegan, and Jackson do all of our in-body tests, and I think all of us came out pleasantly surprised.
Don't step off of it. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, kind of. Thought it would be higher body fat.
You ready to go?
Can't wait. Stand up as tall as you can. What'd you think it was? 38. See, look at that. 26.
Okay, let's take a look at what we have for our in-body results. I'm 176, which that was me coming in off of a cut from the strongman competition that I just did. So I'm still weighing pretty light. Skeletal muscle mass, I've got an issue here. So 89.5. That is 11 pounds less skeletal muscle mass than I had 2 years ago. I'm getting smaller, I'm getting weaker, I'm getting older. It's okay. Maybe one of these days we'll get that back up. And that 12.5% body fat, I haven't been this lean in a long time, especially coming from CrossFit, where I was constantly sitting at 200, just under, maybe even just a touch over. So being lean right now feels really nice. Now we're headed back to the gym to do our third benchmark, testing our 1 rep maxes for our squat, bench, and deadlift.
Number one, we're going for squat. If I hit 405, that would be absolutely amazing, but there are no guarantees here. I will say I used to be much stronger, and my ego is quite hurt if I can't hit 405.
50 cents as Jordan fails 405 again today.
First of all, f you. Hell yeah. All right, 315. Next piece is coming out. Throwing the belt on. I have the remembrance of being strong, but I'm no longer strong. I like moves, but I know I have that sticking point. What an ego lifter. What an ego lifter. Do you know lifting that heavy is not good for you?
And this is it. This is everything I haven't trained for in the last year. And if I don't hit this weight, I lose my man card.
Hi, sticking point, I suck. Just lost my man card. Again.
Next up is bench, my least favorite lift. After 242, I didn't really have very high hopes for much more than this. My best ever bench is 285, so if I get 264, I'd be happy with that.
Come on, right? Wait, come on.
Oh, I tried. We're here to fail though, boys, we're here to fail.
So it's Thanksgiving Day, it's 11 o'clock and I have to be at my parents' at 1, so I'm gonna blast through this, take as little rest as possible, and just hope for the best. I will say having the boys with me is amping me up, so I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the weights I'm about to hit.
I'm the f***ing GOAT. Imagine, what if I pulled 485? I'd be so pissed. That made me kind of mad. That my squat has gone down that much and my deadlift like remained the same. How'd that look? How'd that look? How'd that look? Ooh. Maybe, let's see, boys, let's see. We're going Reds after this. All right, so that is it for our maxes. We hit only a 385 squat. We're coming back for that. 265 bench press, and then somehow I managed to do a 440 deadlift. Overall, I'm not mad at this.
We are on our last and final test for our pre-Hyrox training, and we're gonna be doing a 10K time trial just because I think it was what will translate the best into the actual race day pace. Well, we had our VO2 max tested earlier, and if I'm understanding lactate threshold correctly, I should be able to run this 10K at my actual threshold. So 143 to 153 beats per minute is gonna be my ideal pace. So let's get on the treadmill and see what happens. Got done with, that's definitely not my first 10K, but it's my first 10K on a treadmill. We finished in 52:10, which breaks down to an 8:21 mile. So we're at the end here. Let's take a look at what we just accomplished with all of my lifts, my 10K, and my VO2 max. Overall, I feel like I'm in okay shape. So now it's what are the goals going forward and getting ready for our first Hyrox race. Number one, I'd like to get my 10K time down from 52 down to 45, which would put me about 730 splits. Number two, while it's not a main priority, it would be nice to be able to get my squat, bench, and deadlift up. But remember, we're training endurance, so it's not likely that that is gonna happen, but we're at least gonna make sure that we're doing the lifting so we don't actually get weaker. And number three, which is not a part of this video, but I did a trial Hyrox race here at the gym. It took me an hour and 19 minutes. So when we actually go down to Houston, I'm gonna set the goal of doing a sub 110 Hyrox for my first race ever. That's the end of this video, guys. I really appreciate everybody that watched this far into this video. If you guys like this, I can't wait to show you guys more. We have more of this series that's gonna be happening, going into nutrition, training, and then how can you do your first ever Hyrox race. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, notifications are on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.